Some very basics about traumatic brain injury. This is based on information found in Chapter 19 of Physical Rehabilitation by Susan O'Sullivan et al. Let's define brain injury. It can be defined as an alteration of brain function or other evidence of brain pathology caused by an external force. So you may have evidence of brain pathology or altered brain function due to other things such as infection, cerebral atrophy, dementia, metabolic imbalance, that type of thing. That's not caused by an internal force, so it's not classified as a traumatic brain injury. Now, the prevalence and impact of TBI, traumatic brain injury, is far-reaching. It is most likely underreported, but the numbers we have are almost 3 million people a year are admitted to emergency departments with TBI. Some of those die. Now, TBI is the leading cause of injury-related death and disability in the United States. The leading cause of traumatic brain injury are falls, followed by blunt force trauma, followed by motor vehicle accidents. Now, age is a factor. You might suspect that the same group that have the highest rate of spinal cord injury, the older teen, young adults, would be the same for traumatic brain injury, and you would be incorrect. They are represented, but they are not the largest population. Largest population is people over 75 years of age. And for that group, those over 75, falls are the #1 mechanism of injury or acquisition of traumatic brain injury. Now, the next group are infants, 0 to 4 months of age. And for them, it's unfortunately either falls or some type of abuse, such as shaking. Third largest group are our old friends, the adolescents and young adults, age 14 to 24. For this group, adolescents, young adults, motor vehicle accidents are the #1 cause of traumatic brain injury. So there are different mechanisms that prevail in each of the different categories. Now, the mechanisms, there's not one single mechanism. It depends on the extenuating circumstances, what the external forces are, the pre-morbid condition of the brain and the individual. But essentially, the brain damage results from external forces that cause the brain tissue to either make direct contact with an object, like your skull, or a penetrating object, like a javelin or an axe or a bullet, something like that. It could also be due to rapid acceleration, deceleration forces, such as you might have in a motor vehicle accident, or an infant that is shaken, or it can be from blast waves from an explosion. Now, generally speaking, brain tissue can be categorized as either primary, that is due directly to the trauma, attributable directly to trauma to the parenchyma, or secondary injury that results from a cascade of specific biochemical, cellular, and molecular events that evolve over time due to the initial injury and the injury-related hypoxia, edema, and elevated intracranial pressure. It's kind of the same concept when we talked about the ischemic cascade when we had our discussion of stroke, kind of the same idea there. There are a number of short videos that will make up the bulk of this module. Follow them in order, view, and there'll be a short summary, maybe with a couple of questions after each of the short videos. If you run into difficulty, I am just an email away. Good luck.